Okay, let's start with scholarship. Okay, and the amount received for scholarships, fellowship, bursary, achievement prize, and the study grant, but not artist project grants. So artist project grant, I'm going to talking later. Okay, this one. So a complete except from tax. If received by qualified student who was enrolled in full-time education program in the current year. So make sure it's full-time. Full-time is exempt from tax. That means a full-time student is you don't need to pay any tax on scholarships, fellowships, bursary, and achievement prizes. So in prior year, then or the following year. Okay, so that's you keep in your mind. So full-time student, you don't need to pay any tax on scholarships, fellowship, bursary, achievement prizes, study grants. So is anybody you receive something like this? Bursaries, achievement prize, scholarships from East West College. You guys get that money from East West College?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's you got the T4A. Do you have a T4A?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. You already have a T4A, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So they issued the T4A. Okay. To be qualified for scholarships exception, that a taxpayer must qualifying student who is enrolled in qualified education program. That's this one is what is qualified education program. So you just go to the school to ask them. Okay, I think East West College, they are all qualified. They all qualified education program because they when they set up this program, they need to go to government. They needed to go to government to register. Then they got qualifying. Okay, and for full-time and part-time student, so something is you have to ask your school. Okay, when you register, you have to ask school you are full-time student or you're part-time student, so that they will tell you. It's depend on the program they register with government. Okay, you don't ask me because I have no idea. Some student they do ask me. Then I said you go to school to ask your ask school. So you're full-time or part-time because it depends on the program. So the program, the school set up, they already know that's the part-time or full-time. So if the qualified student only enroll in part-time education program, then the scholarship exception is limited to the exception. Okay, exception, scholarship exceptions is unlimited to tuition fees and the cost of programs related to the material. That means your tuition fees and your material, your cost program related material, and plus 500. Then only limited to this one. So if it exists to this amount, then your scholarship need to pay the tax. If the student is not enrolled full-time and part-time program, okay, that's what we said is not qualified student, is one of those in one of those years, and the scholarship bursary is taxable. Okay, but they still have the 500 exception. Okay, so your scholarship is take away 500 exception. Then over 500, you need to pay the tax. So this one is not we call the not qualified student. Some program, like for example, you want learning how to typing, Okay, you're typing something, you go to state or somewhere to learn typing, so that the program is not codified, is not codified program. So in this one, you paid tuition. For example, you paid 800, then you subtract 500, so 300. You need to pay the scholarship 300. The 300 you need to pay the tax. Okay, we're talking about. Don't confuse. We're talking about the scholarship. It's not talking about tuition. Okay, it's not talking about tuition. It's a scholarship. So the scholarship, if you you paid, like for example, you did good. You did good. Then the school give you 800, but that's not qualified program. Then you subtract 500. Then 300 is so that scholarship, fellowship, bursary is online 130110. I'm going to show you, okay, 131010. Then this one is important, okay? For the grocery amount, gross received by taxpayer in the year is a scholarship, bursary, fellowship, bursary, and taxable achievement prize. It should be on T4A. Everybody, you go to home to check T4A, box 105. Okay, make sure it's 105, not the box 40, not box 48 something. So the report is on 130110. Okay, so is anybody have a, you have a T4A here? You can see for East West College. And there's lots of people, there's no answer.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm looking for it, ma'am.
Okay, I'm just waiting for you, Aaron. So you have a T4A. Make sure you T4A and the box 105, on box 105. So you find out?
I'm not yet, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay, take your time. You said you are not find out that T4, you cannot find the T4 where it is, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So go home to make sure. I just want to make sure that East West College, they issue the right T4A. Okay. So make sure, keep in your mind, everybody here, it should be on box 105. If it's not on box 105, then you need to talk to school. Okay. The East West College, they used to make a mistake. I tell you, they used to make a mistake. I talked to them a couple of years. The student tell me they are put on box 48 or box 40. I can't remember. So, but it's not, definitely it's not on 105. Okay, let's take a look at the studio text. The studio text.
I have an access to my T4A.
Mm-hmm.
Just a second. Is it the Canada Student Financial?
It's not. It's a bursary.
It is under
At the
105,
Canada
box
system
105.
that find.
Yeah, I found it on under 105.
Oh, that's great. 105. That's great. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So let's take a look at the studio tax. Is that the taxable scholarship, bursary, fellowships, bursaries, and artist project grants is on line 18. On line 18, that's 130110. The formal line is 130110. You find out line 18. Okay, it goes to line 18. Okay, now we take a look for this one. Okay, another one. Elementary school, secondary school scholarships and bursaries are not taxable. Okay, if you get some student, they get the little kids like my younger daughter, she gets that scholarship from her school, and that's not taxable. They don't need to pay any tax on it. Okay, there's some parents, they ask me that scholarship, the parents has to report that. I said no, because the T4A says the name is on the student's name. It's not on parents' name, right? Actually, we parents get that money, and actually we parents get that money because the kids is too young, and there's a couple thousands. And I think last year my daughter is get 4,000 something. Then she doesn't need that. It is big money, right? Then I just can't get it. But some the parents, they ask me, so do I have to report this one? Because do I have to report this one for my income? I said no, because the T4A, they issue the T4A is under the school, they issue T4A to you, okay? The T4A is under the student name, so under your kid's name. So you don't, it's nothing to do with your parents, so you don't need to report, okay, any tax. The kids, they don't, because they are secondary school, okay? Elementary school and secondary school, the scholarship is not taxable, so they don't need to do anything. Okay, so the post-secondary school program, the post-secondary program that consider mainly of research is eligible for scholarship exception only if needed to college to CEGEP diploma or bachelor, master and doctor degree or equivalent degree. Postdoc, these ones all, the up here is all non-taxable. Okay, so if it's a full-time, it's non-taxable. So the post-doctor fellowship are taxable. So the doctor fellowship is kind of wages. Okay, kind of wages is pretty high, at least 60,000 a year. So that this one is taxable. Okay, this one is a post-doctor fellowship is equivalent like wages. Is of course it's taxable, but the post-secondary program like the bachelor's and the master's and the doctor, even the doctor degree, they are couple thousands. Okay, couple thousands. So that's this one is if it's full-time, most time is full-time, right? So the full-time is non-taxable. So prize and awards are you received is a benefit from your employment or in connect with your benefit are not taxable for are not eligible for 500 tax-free amount. Like see here, because you have a boss, right? Some boss, I do have some student. The boss tell the employer, boss tell her study hard. If you get a good grade, then the company will pay you. Company will give you that scholarship. Okay, so for this scholarship is taxable, so you cannot deduct the 500. So what I'm saying is the 500 exception, or your full-time or part-time student, that scholarship is from your school, from your education program, and organization, for education organization, is not from your employer. If it's from employer, that means that's a taxable benefit. Okay, that's a taxable benefit. Of course, you need to pay the tax. Okay, and of course you need to pay the tax. And some student, they get a scholarship is for the parents, for the parents' employer. Like for example, when I work at ConocoPhillips, we have a program. If your kids, okay, if your son and daughter, then they get offer, okay, from 5 universities in Canada, like McGill, Waterloo, University of Waterloo, University of McGill, University of Queen, and University of Toronto, and University of McMaster. That's the 5 universities in Canada. That's the top 5. Okay, that's a very good university, top 5. So when you kids is get there, then you get 3,000 scholarship. The company will pay you 3,000, pay your kids, okay, 3,000, as long as you got you provide that the letter from that school. You bring that letter to that school. They says we got exception, okay, exception from the top 5 school. Then the company will issue 3,000. Okay, and I do have a college to get it, but that time my kids is young. I don't have a chance to get it. So in this case, that 3,000 is for the parents pay the tax. Okay, that's the parents' taxable benefit. So parents paid. So you cannot, is not qualify for your subtract 500. Then also you said my kids is full-time student. Then I don't need to pay the tax. No. So because this one is issued to your parents' name, under your parents' name, right? So under your parents' name, then the parents is not full-time student, and the parents is not, you cannot get subtract 500, things like that. So it's a whole amount taxable. So we call the taxable benefits. Okay, for the artist, now we're talking about artist project grant. So artist project grant is a scholarship, fellowship, bursary. We're not talking about that. So the artist project is a scholarship, fellowship, bursary, or prize used to produce literary, dramatic, and the musical and artistic work. If taxpayer receive an artist project grant, then he or she may deduct either 500 or related expenses, but not both. What happened is here. So for the artist project grants, okay, so you have a 2 choice. One choice, and you just deduct 500. Okay, so you just deduct 500. Then the rest over 500 is all taxable. Or you have another choice. We said is detailed method. So you can deduct. Another method is you deduct all the expenses, related expenses, like something when you do the musical performance, then you rent, right? You rent area, you rent a studio. Then the rent fee you can deduct. Then you purchase some CD, or you hire some studio to recording, things like that. Okay, all the related expenses you deduct, but you have to keep your receipt. You keep your receipt and support your expenses. If you choosing deduct 500, then you don't need the receipt. It's just subtract 500. There's no receipt. Let's look up some examples. Okay, examples. Mark is a qualified student in full-time education program. He has 2 T4 slip report scholarship. One is 2,800. Another one is 3,000. So let's see. So Mark has to pay that 5,800 tax. The question. Yes or no? I think that a student is feel asleep. They just log in, then they go do something else. That's this class is quite very quiet. When I ask question, there's nobody answer. Just few student answer. Question.
Sorry, ma'am, can you repeat the question, please?
The Mark is a qualified student in full-time program, full-time education program. Then he has T4, 2 T4s, 2 T4As. One is 2,800. Another one is 3,000. So Mark has to pay tax on this one, 5,800.
No, ma'am.
Why?
He's a full-time student.
Yeah, full-time student for that scholarship. Okay, for scholarship is no. But you make sure that scholarship is 105, box 105, not only T4A. So T4A, if it's not 105, that's the different meaning. Okay, Ronnie has 1 T4A showing the box 105. Okay, that box 105 that means a scholarship that received the 2,000 scholarship while he attended post-secondary institution. He is not qualified student. Okay, so he is not qualified student, so he has to pay the tax on the 2,000 if it's not qualified student.
Yes, ma'am.
He has
1,500 only.
Yeah, 1,500 only. Subtract the what?
500 exemption.
Yeah, subtract everybody. Everybody, if your scholarship is from education program, you qualify 500. So he's not qualified student, but he still can subtract 500. Okay, so that's 15. That's 1,500 is report to line 13010, line 18. Okay, and the another one. Last year, Ginger received 3,000 scholarship. Then he used to attend the evening classes at technical college, because the program require only 20 hours of week per month. Then it's qualified only is it's codified only is a specified education program in which he was enrolled part-time. So it's only qualified for part-time student, okay? Ginger incurred the tuition cost is 1,000. Then the material cost is 600. So she will be report how much now. So the scholarship is 3,000, right? So we know the part-time student. So part-time student, the scholarship is limited to tuition and related to the material cost. So the tuition is 1,000, material cost is 600. Then the plus everybody get 500. So it's 2,100. So 3,000 subtract 2,100 is 900. So that's 900. You need, then he put 900 and 130,110. Okay, if it's negative, if it's 0, that's the gone. So you don't need. That means Ginger, she don't need to pay any scholarship. But if it's positive, like a 900, they need to pay 900 tax on it. So any question for this, for the part-time student? Part-time student, you need a calculator, right? Calculate, but it's easy. Any questions for this one?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so okay, so this one is basically so full-time student, part-time student basically is easy. Okay, and this one is showing how much scholarship you need to pay the tax. But actually, if you do the paper return, you have to manually to do that. But if we do electronic return, the system is automatically calculated for you. Okay, then I will going to show you. It's just for your understanding. Okay, it's just for your understanding. The system is automatically show you, and it's automatically calculate for you. You don't need to do any calculation. Okay, you don't need to do any calculation. They automatically calculate for you. But I just but for paper return, you have to do like this. But I just show you how they get. If you put like your full-time student, you put 3,000 there, they won't show anything on line 130,110. Why? You said some student they find what happened, where my 3,000 go. So that's because if you're full-time student, they won't show any number on 130,110 because you're tax-free. But if you're full-time student, like something like that, then system they'll give you 900 in there. Okay, the system will give you 900 there. Okay, so if you're not learning, then you got confused. I do put the first 3,000, but why they just show up is 900. I put 3,000. Why they show up 900? Because the system already deduct something. Okay, so you just understand. On the next one, this one is artist project grant. Okay, and we just this one is for you. Just understand. David has a couple of T4 slips, totaling is 5,000 for some artist project grants he received. Does he have to claim that the whole amount is an income tax? Is an income this year? Question: Does he has to claim that the whole amount? Of course not, right? Of course not. At least David can subtract 500, right? if the total of the amount you receive in 2021, box 105 of your T4, 5,000, then he can claim 500 exception. Okay, 500, then subtract 500. Or you can claim, or David can claim expenses incurred to produce literature, dramatic, and music artists' work against this income. Okay, against the income that, for example, if David is produce that artist work, then he can deduct that that clothes, okay, that's special clothes for artists, for the artist's work, right? The clothes and the frame and the rent for exhibit that area, and then even something tools, something like that, okay, that related, anything related expenses they can deduct. But sometimes if you have expenses, you just calculate the expenses more than 500, then you just doing, if it's less than 500, you just claim 500, that's it. So you don't need to do any receipt. You don't have any receipt, just claim 500. Like you claim 500 exception, then you report 4,500 income. Okay, report 4,500 income. That's it. It's lots of easy. You don't need to keep receipt. Otherwise, if, for example, if you have 800 expenses or even 1,000 expenses, you need to keep your receipt. Then you 5,000 deduct your expenses. You report the net income to that. Okay, to your report. So that's
Can I ask a question?
mhm.
Yeah, it's regarding the T4A. I just want to know if, like, example, you didn't include the T4A on this year taxation. Can you still include that on the next taxation year?
No. You only can do that adjustment. You know,
Oh,
like I
okay.
said,
Yes.
T1 adjustment. You don't mix up, okay? Don't
Okay.
mix up the year, and because the CRA is going to ask you the support document. If a support document doesn't match, so they just
Yes.
deny your claim.
Okay, so you need to do the adjustment when you
yeah,
receive the
that
T4A. Okay.
Yeah, but T4, but the T4A, if you're full-time student, then it's tax-free. So it won't affect your final result.
Okay.
So in this case, CRA doesn't care. Okay. In this case, CRA doesn't care. But for me, when I teaching, I want you put the T4A in there, even you don't need to pay the tax. Okay.
Yeah.
Even you don't need to pay tax, I still ask you to put there.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so that's tomorrow. Okay, but we still can discuss. Okay, that okay. So tomorrow, everybody, I'm going to teach tomorrow is T2202 tuition. Then the tuition, then the schedule 11. Okay, tomorrow. Probably today. Okay. I see. What time now? Yeah, we can. Possible we can doing today, because possible we can doing today after 10 o'clock. So now we just see, okay, tuition T2202A tuition certificate. I think everybody gets it, right? So eligible tuition fee are calculated on Federal Schedule 11. Claim online 32300 of he or her T1. Okay, so that's line 3. Start with 3 is schedule is T1. page 6, I'm going to show you on T1 page 6, that is still non-refundable credit, okay? But I'm going to teach you Schedule 3. So for this one, Schedule 3, you transfer unused tuition to a sponsor and a common law partner. Or if this one is, if you have a sponsor and common law partner, you want to transfer, then you can transfer, okay? For the student, you don't have a sponsor and a common law partner, you can transfer to your parents or grandparents. So the maximum transfer fee is 5,000 tuition. Okay, so if you don't want to transfer your unused tuition, if you don't want to transfer unused tuition, then you can carry forward. That means you keep your own. Then you carry forward in your future. Okay, and unused tuition or credit amount to future year. So there's no limited. Okay, any future year when your income is more, then you can claim that. You claim this one, then you reduce your tax, right? Reduce your own tax. Okay, student loan interest. So student may claim non-refundable tax credit of interest paid on the loan. This is not 2019, okay? This one is 2021. I'm not update this one. 2021. Interest you paid on loan in 2021 or preceding 5 years. Only you can claim amount for the interest you or the person related to you. The claim is made in line 31900. It must be supported by official receipt. Okay, you need to have an official receipt. Then you can put that. Then you can get this credit. Okay, so now I'm showing you the credit, where the credit is. Okay, so go through this one. We go through this one. You can claim amount only for the interest you have not already claimed. If you claimed, you cannot you only can claim once. If you already claimed, then you cannot claim again. Okay. If you has no tax payable for the year, the interest is paid. This is to your advantage not to claim it on your return. If you can carry interest forward and apply it on your return for any of the next 5 years. What happened is because this one is non-refundable tax credit. If you don't have what they says, if you have no tax payable, if you have no tax payable on this year, interest you paid, so you don't claim that. Even you pay the interest this year, but you don't have a tax payable, then you don't claim this. You keep it for next 5 years. Next 5 years, you're still able to claim it. Why? Because this one is non-taxable credit. You lost. You don't have a tax payable, but you claim that. You lost that credit, right? As long as you claim it, you lost. So I'm going to show you here. So everybody see my screen. I'm going, this is studio text, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What you're showing is a studio text. Okay. So the tuition, the interest with the tuition and the interest paid, the tuition alone is line 100, line 101. So line 100 is interest paid. on your tuition, on your student loan, okay, on your student loan. Then the 101 is your tuition, education, and tax amount, textbook amount. And now we don't have a taxable amount, right? It's only tuition. Before we do have, but now we don't. They just the they just government take out. So that you know, there's 101, 100, 101 is all on the page 6. Page 6, this says a federal non-refundable tax credit. So what happened is the tuition education amount is on Schedule 11. So the Schedule 11, they already calculate for you if you don't have, if you don't have, your most time student income is low. Student income is low. So they just reduce your tax payable to 0. They reduce your tax payable to 0, then they leave that unused tuition there. So for the unused tuition, then you can do transfer or something else. Okay, you can transfer or you carry forward in your future. This the tuition 101, but the 100 is student loan. Is the interest pay on your student loan. So the interest pay on student loan, you won't get to transfer. You won't get transfer. So make sure in this case. If your tax payable is come to 0, okay. If your tax payable is come to 0, then you don't need to put any things here. Okay, 100. You don't even you paid like if you paid the 5,000 here, so you don't pay anything. Don't put anything here. So because your tax payable is already come to 0, so if you put 5,000 here, then you lost that 5,000. As long as you claim, you lost. Okay, so in this case, then the day says you keep it for next 5 years. For next 5 years, and when your income is high, okay, when your income is high, then you claim it, then you get you still have it. So that's I said is be careful that the federal non-refundable tax credit. Be careful. If your income is too low, then don't lost it. Okay, so like yesterday we talking last week we talking about the medical expenses, something like that. If the income is too low, then you don't you just claim on somebody else. Don't claim here in case you lost it. You lost, then you lost you lost money, right? So basically is here. So I'm going to teach you Schedule 11 for the tuition education amount. So before I'm come to tuition, so any questions for this one?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so no questions. So for this class, for this class, there's I find out that's very different, big different than the other class is lots of students. They are just they're just at work or do something else. So only a few students only few students focus my class. So I probably do some adjustment. If you give you more information, then probably there are lots of students don't get it. Okay, here. Same thing here, okay? I just made like everybody, you have a T4, right? You have T4A. So as long as you the T4A on box 105, like here. If I said Cindy Smith have a T4A 2021, then this one is box 105. So box 105, you will know this one is a scholarship. Okay, this one is a scholarship or bursary. So the 5,000 is scholarship. Then I also make T2202 tuition here. So this is the simple form. Okay, this one's a simple form. So everybody, this is a simple form like T4. I made that. That's easy for you. To take a look. For example, this one is Cindy Smith. Then this is the address. So that's show you from January to April. So she paid tuition. Okay, she paid tuition is 2,800. Then from September to December, she paid the tuition is 3,400. So the total is tuition paid is 6,200. Okay, 6,200. Then in the here is the months. Okay, make sure that's the months. So then Cindy is a full-time student. Then in column C, the column C is full-time. So this one is 4 months from January to April is 4 months. From September to December is another 4 months. So total is 8 months. So that's the full-time. If it's a part-time, is on column B. Okay, it's column B. So make sure this 4 and this 4 is months, is not weeks. Okay, when you read it, this is the month. So for the T2202, the T2202A, how to report this one in schedule text. So what you're going to read is the total. You focus on total, okay? You don't need this one. That's the total one. So now I'm going to show you. That's quite easy, okay? It's quite easy for you to. So you go to studio text. Okay, you go to studio text, make sure it's Cindy. Okay, here is Cindy, make sure it's Cindy. Then you find the T2202. T2202 here. So if you don't have a T2202, you go to form to find out. Okay, you go to form to find out. So the T2202 is basically is like here. Okay, that's easy. So you put the name of education institution here. Okay, so that means East West College. East West College. Then you need to find there's full-time. Full-time is here, okay? 24 is part-time. Full-time is 8 months. Then the tuition total is 62,000. No, 6,200, sorry. So it's quite easy, okay? You have to pay attention. Full-time is 25. Part-time is 24, okay? That's a big difference. As long as you put here, that's a big difference, okay? Then as long as you put here, because this one is number of number of full-time is 8 months. Then you put the T4A, like here, T4A, okay? The T4A 105, the T4A 105, T4A, you click on T4A, then you click on 105. So if the T4A 105 is 5,000, then what happened is you go to T1. You go to T1. Do you remember that the scholarship is line 18, right? The scholarship line 18. So is any line 18 here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So any number here?
No, ma'am.
No. Why? Do you know why? I put 5,000 there. Why there's no?
Because it's full-time.
Because full-time. How they know full-time is because it's a T2202 here.
Yeah.
It's T2202. I put full-time here. But if you put part-time here, instead of full-time, you put part-time here. Like for example, okay, I put part-time here. So when I go to T2202, no. So when I go to T4A, I said it's 8,000 here. So what happened is they still not. Okay.
Still in Ireland?
Cindy. Sorry, Cindy. They still not. Let's check here. So I put 8,000 here, 105, right? So T2202 is a part-time. Probably he's subtract that because subtract 500, then they add up because tuition is 6,000, but they just they add up and the material fee because the material cost, right? So they don't put, they just material cost. So material cost, the system is automatically add up something for you. So they don't need to pay the tax. Okay. So they don't need to pay the tax. So we just see what happened here. So if I put 2,500 here, the tuition fee. It still not show up.
You're under Aaron, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. I think they still not show up. Yeah, still not show up. That's curious because it's I think it's part-time. The part-time, then is the tuition is only 2,500. Then the scholarship is 8,000. So they should pay something. Okay, they should pay something because do you remember? You add up 2,500 and add up related material fee. Then add up 5,000. The rest you need to pay. But the system, I don't know. The system is not. It's not quite.
Or do we need to put it on
The 5,000.
18? Yeah, right.
Here, the 8,000 here. 8,000.
It should be minus 500, ma'am, or
Yeah, they should minus 500 minus tuition fee and minus material fee. But I don't know, they are not showing up here. Probably something wrong for that. Something wrong for that state due tax. The part-time or full-time student is different. Okay. Anyway, so you have to make sure the part-time student and full-time student is different. So they are not take up. So that let's see here. This is the part-time student. We put the full-time student. Okay, everybody is a full-time student. So I need to change. That's 6200. That's the tuition. Okay, that's the tuition. Then I still that's pretty simple. Okay, when you do a pretty simple for T2202, then I need to teach you schedule 11. Okay, before we come to schedule 11, I would like to discuss with Canada training credit. Like I said, when you read that NOA, and now everybody now you only have NOA is a 2020 NOA. You don't have a 2021 NOA because 2021 tax you are not filed 2020 2021 yet. So like I said, when you come back to you check your NOA in 2020, everybody should have everybody here, you should have a Canada training credit. And what happened is Canada training credit is you get is let's see, let's discuss with this one. Not everybody, okay? Not everybody. Some people you have, some people you don't have. So you check your you check your NOA 2020, then to find out if you have or not. So when we do schedule 11, we need it here. Okay, you should claim that's the Canada training credit. Okay, Canada training credit, we say the CTC. So you can claim CTC for eligible tuitions and other fees paid to eligible education institution in Canada for the courses you're taking in 2021, or fees you paid to certain bodies in respect of occupational and trade professional examination taking in 2021. If all the following apply, that means if you qualified CTC or not. Okay, you were resident in Canada for whole year 2021. You were at least 26 years old and less than 66 years old at the end of the year. Okay, you have Canada training credit limited for 2021 on your latest notice assessment or reassessment on 2020. Okay, so go to check your everybody. Do you remember at the first two classes? Then second class. Then I tell you you need to check your NOA 2020. You got the Canada training credit. Okay, you find that one when you do your tax return. When you do your schedule 11, you need to find this one. Okay, so the CRA will review the criteria to increase your CTC by 250 if you're qualified. Up to maximum is 5,000 in your lifetime. That means if you qualify for this one, then they still have. I think they still have. They are not talking about employment income. If you have employment income or self-employment income, then you get that. At least I think at least 8,000. Yeah, at least you have 8,000 employment income or self-employment income. Then you have a tuition, right? Also you have a tuition paid. Then you get that CTC. If you only have a CTC like my daughter, then elder daughter, she last last year, and in 2020, also in 2020, because it's pandemic, so she's not get any income. She stay home because of the pandemic, right? The pandemic, the student is stay home. She's not get any income, so she won't get any CTC. So only CTC is you have employment income and the self-employment income over, I think it's over 8,000. Okay, so this the government, the CRA will automatically give to you. You just keep in your mind you have employment income, and also you're 26 years old. My daughter is under 26 years old, so you are 26 years older, then you have income, then you pay the tuition, then you get CTC. Otherwise, you don't have a CTC. Okay, otherwise you don't have a CTC. So the CTC basically every year they give you 250. So 250, if you last year you are not claimed that CTC, then you still can claim this year. Okay, I got some student. Let's see, I got some student. She's panicked because one day she called me. She said that when I do my Schedule 11, I forgot to put my CTC in there. That means you are not claiming CTC. She said, can I just do the T1 adjustment? Then I said, you don't, it's not necessary to do the T1 adjustment, okay? So T1 just, you can do next year. So if you're not, you have a $500, okay? 250 is 1 year. So if you have a $500, you are $500 CTC, you're not claimed. This year you forgot, you're not claimed. So next year you got another 250. Then you got 750 now. 750, then you can claim 750 for once, okay? As long as you have, but you have to make sure, as long as you have a tuition. But next year, because if next year you don't have a tuition, you finish, your education program is finished, then you need to claim, okay? Next year you won't able to claim that. So you have to claim this. And as long as you are 66 years old, under 66 years old, you still can claim. Okay, that's basically is CTC. Is anybody find that you have a CTC on your Is anybody find that your CTC on your NOA?
I think my husband, ma'am, but I'll
I don't
check
have.
it.
Yeah.
You think your husband has?
Yes, ma'am. I'll double check it if it's.
So your husband take a education program last year?
I'm not sure, ma'am. I'll double check it.
Yeah. There's only you says okay, only you have employment income, okay, and they have all you have and you all self-employment income is both, okay, and you have a tuition. If you don't have, like me, I don't have a tuition to pay, so I don't have a CTC, okay, I don't have a CTC, so something like that. Let me check.
Ma'am, so if you don't have that CTC on your NOA, you cannot claim?
No, you cannot claim. Yeah. So if you you only showing up on your NOA, the latest one. So the latest one is 2020, right? The 2020, you check on 2020 if you have a CTC. Okay. Make sure you read. There's but you can, if you don't have, you can check on my account, see if you have a CTC. They will show you. Like I said, again, okay. Like I said, here. Do you remember, like I gave you, do you remember I gave you homework? then I will show you again, okay, the homework. So the homework, like I said, the homework, I don't check your homework and I don't give you grade, but you better than you do it, okay? The homework, I'm not usually give student lots of homework. I want you practice on class so we can discuss. But this homework you should do, okay? I'm going to check. Do I share my screen
Yes.
for that word, right? You see that word, the screen,
Yes.
okay? Then I will show you that. The homework. Okay, so the homework for NOA. So on your 2020 NOA, the first thing you need to find out the access code, right? So when you do the tax return, you do need to find the access code. So again, I tell you, access code is never change. So I give you a suggestion. The better than you put your access code in somewhere, like I keep it in my cell phone, or you can keep it in your safety place. Okay, you keep it in your notebook or something. So every year, so in this case you don't need to check every year, okay, for the access code. But now access code is start for last year tax return, 2020 tax return. And last year we did 2020 is the first year, but now it's optional. I think next year, this one is 2021 still optional, but they just take small steps. But in the future, if you don't have an access code, you won't able to submit your file. Okay, you won't able to submit your file, so your tax return. So make sure you have your own access code. If you prepare your own tax return, or you prepare your husband's or your spouse's tax return, so you just get the access code in safe place. In case it's very handy, like I keep it, it's very handy. I just put on my cell phone. So I just put my cell phone. It's like something is like a SIN number, okay? The access code, but you have to keep it in safe place. If somebody knows your access code, then they can do something, okay? It's not good for you. So access code, again, access code never change, okay? With your whole life, okay? From right now. So now they are not, if you don't have access code, you still can submit your return. But in future, I don't know how many years the CRA, as long as CRA says you must have an access code, then if you don't have an access code, you won't able to submit your file. So RRSP limited room. Everybody has RRSP limited room, okay? I want you to find your RRSP limited room. So this one is next week when I am talking about the investment income, okay? Then we're just talking about that. RRSP. If you don't have RRSP limited
Alexa,
room,
stop.
you're able to do that.
Alexa, stop.
Okay, and you're not able to do that. So you have to know RRSP limited room. And another thing, the third thing is unused federal tuition amount or unused provincial tuition amount. That means if you last year in 2020, you have a tuition, okay? You have a tuition, you are not use it, then you have this one. So today, after a break, I'm going to talking about on Schedule 11, okay? Schedule 11 is unused federal tuition amount and unused provincial tuition amount. Okay, that's Schedule 11. Federal Schedule 11 and the provincial Schedule 11. We need it. We do need this amount. Okay, but some people, if you before you are not you are not paying in 2020, you don't have a tuition amount. You're not claim T2202, then you probably don't have this amount. Okay, you don't have this amount. This amount is carry forward. That's before you have a tuition, but you are not because your income is too low. Then you are not use it. Then you carry in future. Is this from you the carry forward from previous year? Okay, that's not everybody has this one, and also the last one is CTC. CTC is Canada Training Credit. So this one is not everybody have, but I want you find out if you have or not. If you have or not. So that's this one is I want everybody. Okay, you take a picture or something, then you go home to find out. If you don't do, I think most students they are not doing a homework. Okay, and my suggestion is you do your homework. Okay, and even I'm not checking. Even I'm not checking your homework, I'm not give you a grade like the other instructor. They give you lots of homework, then they give you they check your homework, they give you a grade. I'm not doing that, but you still need to know. You still need to do that. Okay, it's good. It's good for you. Let's take a break. Let's take a break. I'm going to see you 10:20.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.